Hi, good evening and welcome to the joint meeting of the City Council of the City of Marina Valley Community Services District, City as Successor Agency for the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Marina Valley Housing Authority, Marina Valley Public Financing Authority, and the Board of Library Trustees. The City Council does receive a separate stipend for CSD meetings. I now call this regular City Council meeting to order on August 3rd, 2021 at 6:01 p.m. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by myself. Please stand.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Councilmember Marquez?
Here.
Councilmember Cabrera?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca?
Here.
Mayor Gutierrez?
Here. Staff introductions, please.
Pat Jaquez, City Clerk.
Stephen Quintanilla, Interim City Attorney.
Mike Lee, City Manager.
Brian Mohan, Assistant City Manager, Chief Financial Officer, City Treasurer.
Michael Wolf, Assistant City Manager, Director of Public Works, City Engineer.
Manuel Mancha, Community Development Director.
Erica Green, Acting Parks and Community Services Director.
John Salisbury, Chief of Police.
Bill Weiser, Riverside County Fire Chief.
Thank you. Before we hear public comments this evening, I do ask and encourage everyone participating to keep their comments respectful towards each other. Finally, I ask the speakers bear in mind that they should refrain from duplicating comments already made by others, other than to note that they agree with the comment. Those wishing to speak on any subject on the agenda and not on the agenda under the jurisdiction of the City Council may do so now. In order to preserve the meeting decorum, council and staff will not respond during public comments, but will respond later towards the end of the meeting. So, Madam Clerk, how many speakers do we have tonight?
We have 3.
Oh, great. Okay. Let's go ahead and call those 3 up. And again, this is for all items on the agenda and also items not on the agenda.
The first 3 are Janine Loveless, Derek Mura, and Bob Palomares.
Okay, great. Hi there, welcome.
Hi, my name is Janine Lovelace, and I moved here to Moreno Valley in 2015 with my husband when I got married, who's lived out here his entire life. And when I first moved here, I was impressed with the beauty of the mountains and the quiet areas and open fields and variety of hiking trails. And I also loved being able to see the stars in the sky, something that I couldn't do when I was living in Orange County because of light pollution. And I recently read a sign about land development in Alessandro and Nason as the new downtown. And I believe this is a wrong idea for many reasons. The first of which is when there's a multitude of empty buildings on Sunnymead Boulevard, it seems to me that people need to rent or buy those particular buildings first before we start building new when it's not necessary. Number 2, the people of the area don't wish to have this area congested. We would like to leave it open in the Moreno Valley Rancho Balago area. And number 3, I believe that the downtown needs to be centered around either City Hall or Sunnymead Boulevard. And if you look at thriving cities or cities that have been revitalized, there's a destination and a reason for people to gather together. Imagine if money was put into Sunnymead Boulevard, where all the buildings have similar theme. By reviewing the history of Moreno Valley, this was an area of orange groves, and so imagine orange tree lined streets and charm and boutiques and shops and antiques and eateries, all with the theme of the 40s and the 50s. With welcoming sidewalks and places to go, it's a gathering place for all of us to meet. And talking with my neighbors, they agree that the money should not be spent for the new downtown, and the land should not be developed for this purpose. And I believe that the downtown area should be a destination for people to want to go to. And I don't believe that the corner of Nason and Alessandro is the place to do that. I'd like to see a community-created committee get together to look at ways that the city's open spaces can be utilized respectfully and meaningfully. I'd like to see our downtown located on Sunnymead Boulevard, a place with some of the city's history. Let's use the open land wisely, because once it's developed, it can no longer be taken back to its natural beauty. Thanks for listening. Respectfully submitted.
Thank you so much, Janine. Really appreciate you coming in. Okay, next speaker.
Derek Mura.
My
Hi
name is
there.
Derek Murray, and I came down to David. You're my city council member to represent my district. I live right behind off of Indian and Jenkins. And I have a big problem over there. I call code enforcement, they come over. I'm right behind the old shopping center, Stater Brothers. Homeless people are living in. I don't have a problem with homeless people. I used to be homeless at one time. But when I wake up and go outside and I see a man's penis or a woman squatting to use the restroom, I have a problem with that when my family had to come out and see that. And when I moved here, I came here to meet Mr. Davis. And I left a message. I get no, because I just wanted to meet you because you represent me. And so I called, I left messages. You never called me back. I like to come up here. The problem, the owner who owns that building needs to be held accountable. If we can't board it up, the fire department comes over there, the police come over there, they arrest some people who have warrants, but the problem is still there. And I'm tired of looking at it. In the illegal dump, I look at you guys on Channel 3, and I see that me and you have a lot in common. Illegal dump, I'm saying something to the residents that live in my area. And you ought to see what they get flicked off and cussed out, because I'm tired of looking at it when I come out my front door. Couches, and they even dumped in front of my house. And you said it, I heard you on Channel 3. The dump, man, is very cheap. You said it. Very cheap. I go over there all the time. I just wanted to share that with you. I don't know what else to do. I call code enforcement. They come over, police come up in there, but they living up in there. And we need to do something about it. I see a lot of abandoned buildings burned down. Do I need to walk out my front door and see this burnt up store? I don't know. So I don't know what to do. I just figure I'd come down. I took off work early to get here. So I'd like to meet with you. That's it.
Thank you, Derek. And we'll have, can one of the staff members just get his contact information?
Mayor?
Yeah, hold on. Maybe Manny, could you just get his information? Yes.
Yeah, I have his contact information.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Can I comment on that real quick?
Sure.
Is that
go
okay?
ahead. Yeah.
Mr. Murray? The number you left for me to call you, it comes back to a nursery business,
Came back to Murray's
landscaping, correction. Yes, I made several attempts, but just a real quick brief history on that building. We have been keeping an eye on it. We have been on the property owner to clean that up. They've recently replaced the door and they have armed security there now. So it is a problem. We're fully aware of it. And the owner of the property has been contacted many times. But I will definitely, if you want to hang around, I'll meet with you afterwards and we'll talk a little more on that situation out there.
Thank
Okay,
you.
you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. Okay, next speaker, we have Bob Palomares.
Good evening, council members, staff. First of all, I always gotta give thanks to our police and fire. They're our front lines. And Mayor, I happened to see on the press enterprise where you were going to run for the supervisor seat, and I wish you the best because what you've done for this city, and you take it over there to that level, you're gonna be a big asset for the county, the entire county. And you've done a great job here. I look around and read everything that you, along with staff, Mike Lee's done a great job. What you've accomplished is great. It's never been done before. Look at all the development for the better, responsible development. And I was talking with a gentleman that lives on Indian and Ironwood, and I was telling him about the buildings that they just put up. He said, man, before it was depressing to see the field and the homeless. He goes, this is beautiful. So, I felt good about that. And I just wish you the best, Mayor, because whoever comes in to be mayor, boy, you better be ready, because if you can't keep up with what you've done, we're going to start going backwards. We're going to begin to backpedal. And, you know, because a lot of people that are running for office are just playing politics. You know, I've never seen you do that. I've seen you hit the ground running, taking off, doing good. And I see these people, and that's all they're doing is playing politics. They don't come up with anything up here and say, this is what I propose that we're going to do. You know, you did it. You did a good, fine job. So I wish you the best, Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob, for the kind words. Appreciate it. Next speaker, Luis Palomares.
Luis Palomares, a community activist. Wow. Bob said a mouthful, and I agree with him 100%. We've always backed you. We've always been behind you 100% because your agenda is our agenda. You know, that's why we support you, because everything you're doing, we want it. Thank God. We got somebody that's, you know, we're not on that Titanic like we were back when in the day. And hopefully, wow, I wish you all the luck. And if you win that seat, it'll be great. But I am afraid about what's going to come in, because we all got the haters, the Liars Club that want no progress, no progress. You know, who knows what they're going to come in and do? You know, they're going to come in with a ball and break everything down that, you know, part of this council has made happen, including Dr. Carla Thornton. My hat's off to her. And she's truly missed because she was an asset to this council, big time. And the staff's doing a great job, Mike Lee and the whole staff. Wow, I can't, my hat's off to all of them. You know, the 4th of July, I don't know if I said it, but it was great. It was really great. And the bands in the rec over here at the oh golly,
Amphitheater.
the amphitheater. It was great. I had the last band at my 50th anniversary about 2-3 years ago, I believe. It was really nice, and I found them here the last time they had played, and they were great. Wow, it was really good, and I'm glad we're taking this city forward. And I hope who's ever in that seat keeps it going forward, you know, because the ones that are running that I see, you know, the Vans, the Lopez's, the Cabrera, they all want to go backwards. And some are full of themselves. They're, you know, they got this big dream, like they're there 4 years and they got it all planned already. Like they said, I don't know Joanne. She's only been 4 years there. While Cabrera was only there 4 years. He took off running and he's learned a lot and he's done a lot, but yet there's a long way to go here still. You know, it's bigger than us. You know, it's bigger than us. It's always been bigger than us. And as far as Marcus here, when he started running for the Seaway back when in the day, he was always on the trash detail. That's your district they're talking about, Marcus over there. Give him your personal phone number so you could take care of that mess over there. He was all, and he still talks about it, trash. I do this, I do that. I caught some people with the 4th of July. Oh, it's not going to happen again. It's still happening even after the 4th of July. You're so full of yourself. I don't even know. I'll leave it at that. But thank you so much. This council, the mayor, Mrs. Pro Tem Baca, and even I could give Cabrera some credit here, but I don't think he's not the man to fit these shoes. Your shoes are too big to fit. Thank you, Mayor, for everything.
Madam Clerk, any other speakers?
No more speakers, Mayor.
Okay, I'll go ahead and close the public comments. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Roy.
We're on non-agenda items, right?
It's on all items.
On all items, so I'll
Yes.
cover everything. First, I want to address the council and make them aware, if they're not, Dr. Robert Malone. He invented the mRNA technology that's in the Moderna and Pfizer vaccine. I hope you will take very good notice of the warnings that he's proclaiming of that. Mind you, there are probably, you can count on less than one hand, experts in this field. He is saying he's putting a vast warning on the vaccination. He said that we could possibly, and most of the evidence that he's seeing, we're making it worse with this. So I would encourage everyone to look at that, especially executive staff and council members, because you cannot necessarily believe one side of the story or one side of the experts or what's been mass fed to a lot of people. There may be more behind the story. So, on top of that, I did want to address, and I think it's on the agenda, the second reading of the general plan. I do hope that we pass that, we get on with that. Whatever, I mean, heck, if I was doing it, I'd do a few things different myself, but we've been behind the 8 ball on this. We're behind where we should be. And if the city's going to move forward, we need to get on with it. And, we can all fight the political battles and we're almost in a constant campaign of that. And, I'm for everybody's right to make their political positions are, but on the policy statements and what we got to do, we got to do that. And that's why we have all sorts of processes from recall down to being able to address our council, to run for office ourselves. That's where we fight those battles. But today, we need to move forward in this city, get it done so we can progress and hopefully build a better and brighter future for everybody in Moreno Valley. Thank you for the time.
Okay, thank you, Roy. Okay, we'll go ahead and close the public comments. We'll go to consent calendars. Before we go to the consent calendar, again, I want to just thank, I thanked him earlier, but we actually have the Riverside County. So it's not just, from one city, but the Riverside County Fire Chief here representing. So that's amazing. So thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate that. We are now going to move to our joint consent calendar, sections A through E on the agenda. These are items that are listed under the consent calendar, and they're deemed non-controversial and may be enacted by one motion. Items withdrawn for report or discussion will be heard after public hearing items. The motion to adopt the consent calendars is deemed to be a separate motion by each agency. At this time, if you want to just press your speaker button if you have any concerns on any of these items or discussion. Okay.
I move.
Okay, motion made by Councilmember Marquez, a second by Mayor Pro Tem Baca. Madam Clerk, go ahead and call for the vote. Okay, let's please vote. Okay, and it's approved. 4 yeses. We're going to go straight to G1, which is the authorization to refinance the 2018 Streetlight financing agreement with Bank of America, Leasing, and Capital. And we'll have a report from our Assistant City Manager and CFO, Brian Mohan.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, council members. Based on the fiscal policy that you set forth as a governing body over the past several years, we're always looking at our bonded debt, our loans, to take a look at if we can take advantage of financial markets. Currently, financial markets, we're seeing low interest rates. So this is a prime opportunity to save interest over term of a loan if we refinance. In this particular case, the Streetlight refinancing will save roughly $855,000 in savings to the general fund over the remaining life of the loan. The refinance does not change any other terms of the loan other than the interest rate. At this point, I will leave the details in the staff report, and I'm available for any comments.
Okay, thank you so much. Any council questions of staff on this item? And we have a question from Councilor Marquez. Go ahead, Councilor Marquez.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Brian, just real quick, the interest rate was 5.4
Yes, it was actually 5.42.
or 2, and we're taking it as 3.4.
Yes.
And do we see that thing lowering anymore within the next 6 months or anything? Do you know?
No, not on this one. This is a particular loan with Bank of America specifically. In looking at the markets and talking to Bank of America, they were willing to give us this advantage in the interest rate reduction. I do not see it going down any further. This is a specific loan with a private party. It's not really based on market condition, but we were able to get Bank of America to look at the market and give us a better rate, more favorable rate.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it was
Now-
based on a negotiation.
Great. And the spelling here is BANC?
Yes, the spelling is correct. It's not BANK like everybody else thinks. This is their actual corporation name.
Oh, it's another name. Okay, great. Just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Cabrera?
Thank you, Mayor. Brian, thank you for the presentation. A quick question for you. So the estimated $855,000 that we're anticipating to save because of the reduction in interest rate, that funding, those savings, where is that money going to go? Is that going to go back into the general fund? Is that going to go back into a different fund? Can you elaborate, please?
The savings will reside in the general fund. Basically, what it will do is in future budget cycles, when it comes before you for adoption, it will be less, about $65,000 annually, so that we could appropriate that dollar amount for any other reason that you see fit.
Got it. Okay. So I almost wanted to assume it was 855 all at once, but it's over the lifetime of
Over
of
the
the loan,
lifetime of
right?
the
So
loan.
about 65,000 a year.
Yep.
Okay. All right. That's all the questions I have. Thank you.
I entertain a motion by council to approve staff's recommendation number 1. Okay, motion made by Councilor Cabrera, and then a second by Marquez. Okay, please call for the vote, Madam Clerk. Okay, please vote. Okay, item passes 4 yes. We're going to go tonight to item G2, which is the proposed local Moreno Valley essential services measure, and we'll have a report also from Brian as well.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members. The proposed local Moreno Valley Essential Service Measure is recommended tonight. Staff is recommending that you attach that you adopt the attached resolution. At this point, this particular staff report is very detailed. I will leave that in the staff report, and if you have any comments, I'm available to answer.
Okay, we have Councilor Marquez. Council questions?
Thank you, Mayor. Brent, the proposal on this tax, where are we at right now? Percent, 7 what?
So currently, the sales tax in the city of Moreno Valley is at 7.75%.
What's the average in the county?
The average in the western Riverside County, those cities, is 8.31%.
We're
So out of-
we're always lower than everybody else, so we need to step up. And
So 10 of the 18 cities in that particular western Riverside County is at 8.75.
and how much are we generating the first year? Approximately.
Potentially $15 to $20 million off a 1 cent sales tax.
That's going into the,
That will go into the general fund,
Okay.
and that 1 cent stays locally. It does not get allocated out to the state and the county. Because of
That's
the 7.75% that we have right now, the city receives less than 13 cents on a dollar.
but anything after that, it will be ours 100%.
We would get 100% of the 1 cent, yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you. And again, this is just asking the voters to decide. So basically, the voters will decide whether to do it or not.
Correct, Mayor. This is basically just a placement for the November 2nd ballot.
Yeah, it's just asking them. Okay, any other questions? Okay, entertain a motion by council to approve staff's recommendation number 1.
Mayor, can we make a comment for
Oh, yes.
deliberation?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you. So on this item, I just want to, from my understanding and, conversations and doing research about it, there are multiple government entities, government agencies who could potentially put this on a ballot measure as well. And if that situation were to come to fruition and the voters voted in favor of that, then whatever revenue that would be generated from this tax increase would go to that government agency, not the city. So that's one of the questions that I've heard, from folks that ask about it, residents that ask about it, because frankly, I'm not, cheerleading for taxing more, on the residents. However, in this situation, either we do it or the money goes somewhere else. Some other government entity will do it. And that money will still come from the pockets of Moreno Valley residents, but leave our city. So in this situation, I'm definitely in favor of this measure because our city could definitely use 15 to 20 million dollars a year for things like roads, for things like homelessness, for a plethora of items. So, I definitely just want to share my support for this item, and I think I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Any other comments? Okay, entertain a motion. Okay, motion made by Councilmember Cabrera,
Second.
second made by Mayor Pro Tem Baca. Go ahead and please vote. Okay, item passes for yes, and then again, this will be for the voters to decide. Okay, we'll go to City Council reports. I do have one report myself from RCTC, and it's just to be aware of the major regional transportation project that's occurring off the 215. The Placentia Avenue Bridge over the 215 has been closed, and so the temporary closure is needed for construction of the new interchange. And then also the freeway going off to the 60 East towards the Badlands is actually almost finished as well. So that's a good thing. Please visit the RCTC website at www.rctc.org for more project information. That concludes my report. We have also a report from Councilmember Marquez with the Riverside Transit Agency.
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to remind everyone that RTA has the free fares for the youth and college student program. Passengers 18 and under and college students can ride anywhere RTA goes at any time for free. If you have any questions, concerns, you can actually get on the website, riversidetransit.com, for further information. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a report from WRCOG, Mayor Pro Tem Baca.
Thank you, Mayor. The agenda was pretty light. There wasn't much going on at WRCOG, except to say that the new executive director participated in the meeting, and that was Kurt Wilson, who's now the new executive director of WRCOG. And it was very refreshing to, get someone and hired them. And, he has an abundance of experience with local agencies, and he came from Sacramento. He was originally from Upland, and he's doing a very good job. So that concludes my report. Thank you.
Great. We'll go to I2, which is City Manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Just 3 items tonight. First of all, it's welcome back from the summer break. Hope all of you had a enjoyable summer break. Second item was there was a speaker that talked about some of the illegal dumping. So just to remind the residents at home, we do have a Moreno Valley app. You could download that app. You can report potholes, graffiti, illegal dumping code issues. It's a very user-friendly app. It is a GPS based, and so that you could actually pinpoint the location, and makes it a lot easier for staff to find the location by utilizing the app. And finally, we are at a heat wave right now, so our cool centers are open. So please do take advantage of utilizing our cool centers. That concludes the city manager's presentation for tonight. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, City Manager. We'll go to closing reports. We have Councilmember Marquez.
Thank you, Mayor. It's good to be back, but even though we weren't here physically, we were out there mentally, believe me. I just want to say that the city we're doing a great job out there cleaning up our city. Potholes, I had maybe one report in the last 2 weeks on potholes, which is good. Usually get 4 or 5, Mike and I, on a daily basis, sending them pictures. But we're doing good out there. We're doing good. But, this November, after we, hopefully that the residents vote for the increase, we'll have that extra money to actually pave our roads. And you can't count on the state for that SB1 money because of what's been going on. And then I just don't trust the state anyway. So let's take care of ourselves here in Moreno Valley. Let's approve that tax hike, get that extra money, and let's pave our roads. And again, I want to thank staff for a great job they have been doing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Marquez. We have Councilmember Cabrera.
Thank you, Mayor, and good evening, buenas tardes to everyone. Very, very good to be back here again to see many familiar faces. You know, it was a busy summer, like Councilmember Marquez alluded to. Even though we weren't here, we were out, boots on the ground, getting things done. And it was a hot summer, definitely. I see a few of you with some tans, so that's definitely a telltale sign right there. But just a few updates here. So actually, this weekend and next weekend, there's going to be a lot of events for going back to school. As you probably know, kids are getting ready to go back into the classroom, and school districts are figuring all the details out and the logistics of that. But I bring it up because this Saturday there's going to be a backpack giveaway at the Moreno Valley Family Health Center. It's right down the street, right here in Alessandro. That's going to be this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. If anyone wants to come out to that. There's also going to be a backpack giveaway through Sigma Beta Xi, a nonprofit organization. Actually, that's led by Corey Jackson and the school board president, Daryl Peden. So they're going to be hosting that on August 14th at Moreno Valley High School. They're going to be giving away backpacks, and they're also asking folks to register to get a vaccine. So it's a vaccination site combined with a backpack giveaway. So if you want to look that up, you can find the flyer online. And there's also a third backpack giveaway happening this Sunday. It's called Barbers and Backpacks at Moreno Valley College. That's with famous boxer and champion Mikey Garcia from right here in our community, in collaboration with the Lila Project, also Gracie Torres from the Water District. She's helping to put all this together. So that'll be this Sunday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Moreno Valley College. And it is a drive-through event. So anyone out there listening, if you have kids, you want a backpack, definitely come out and see us there. I'll be out there helping out, giving a helping hand this Sunday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Just a couple other items. City Manager Mike Lee, thank you for sending out the email about the rental assistance. I shared that to my social media pages. So thank you, Brian, as well, for putting all that together and helping with that. As some of you may know, through the CARES Act and other federal funds that were allocated, the city received a certain number of dollars to kind of spend on COVID relief efforts. And we, the council and the mayor, decided to spend a significant amount on rental assistance to help Moreno Valley residents pay for past due rent. So actually on the email from, I think it was last week, as of last week, the city had paid about $3.1 million to approximately 294 households in Moreno Valley to pay for past due rent, which is amazing because so many other cities and counties and states overall are struggling to get this money out. You've probably seen all over the news since Saturday about the eviction moratorium expiring. And, one of the problems is that this money that was allocated months ago is taking too long to get out to the bank accounts of tenants and landlords. But the city of Moreno Valley, with this council and our staff, is doing an amazing job, and we're getting that money out there. It's out there, and so much so that now we are actually hoping that the county will help us with the funds that they got so that we can continue to get this money out to those who need it. So just wanted to highlight that item quickly. I want to give a quick thank you to Caltrans. I know it's been a back and forth thing with cleaning up the freeways and the homelessness, but they were out there, I think about 2 weeks ago. They cleaned up Frederick, the on and off ramps, and I think a couple of their parking lots next to Home Depot as well. So I do want to give Caltrans a shout out and a thank you for that. And my colleagues here, David Marquez, my colleagues, for helping to, nudge them in the right direction to get that done. Yeah, yeah. So it's a constant thing, we just got to keep at it, and we're going to keep doing our best. So running out of time here, but last thing I'll say is that for anyone who hasn't gotten vaccinated, please, 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 I hope that you will reconsider. I have mine, and the Delta variant is it's ruthless. It's out there. The research shows that it's worse than the original COVID strain, and so I'm hearing a lot of personal stories, from family and friends that people are in the hospital again on ventilators and getting oxygen and all that. So we need to slow it down. And the more people that get vaccinated, the faster we'll get over the pandemic completely. So with that, welcome back, and we'll see you at the next meeting.
Thank you, Councilmember. We have Mayor Pro Tem Baca.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to say it's good to be back. It was it seemed like a long summer because, I mean, with this heat. And thank you, City Manager, for mentioning the cool centers. So if you have older folks, um, more folks that are sickly or that need more care, just remember that they need to be in a cool area. They can't be overheated, and we have cool centers all over the city. So go on our website or call City Hall, and we'll direct you to them. And another thing, please remember your pets. Please remember to bring them indoors during the hottest part of the day. Make sure they have fresh water and food, and that they're sheltered from the sun, because they too can get heat stroke, sunstroke, and different types of diseases from too much sun. So please take care of your pets. Next week it's back to school, so be careful, everybody. We're gonna have a lot of traffic. We're gonna have people crossing the street in front of the schools. Please slow down. There's no rush in the morning when you're driving by the street, by the schools. You know, think of the kids. And, sometimes they're so excited, they don't turn and look. Many of them don't have the skills to cross streets, but they're still crossing. So it's up to us as adults to watch out for them and call the school district, call the police department if there's people double parking or making the situation dangerous for our young folks. So please keep that in mind and look out for them. The 4th of July was a blast. There was, like I always say, it's Halloween in July. So we had candy tossed, right, Mayor? And that's my favorite part of the parade. And I always run out at the turn. And I know that one of these days I'm going to get it right, but it doesn't matter how much candy I have. I always run out. But it was great. The Fun Fest was spectacular, but the 4th of July, the fireworks, it was fantastic. And I'm glad that we did a good job. The concerts in the park, the movies in the park, people love that. And, it nice that it, in the early evening when it's starting to cool down, but it was great. It was really great. And I'm happy about the bands you picked. I shouldn't say especially, but I really like Stone Soul. And that's the one that Miss Palomares was mentioning that she had at our 50th wedding anniversary. They play such good music. It just, takes us back to the day. But all the bands are good. All the bands, there's different genres, but it was good and people were happy. People were eating and having a lot of fun, and the kids were running around, and it was just fantastic. I just really enjoyed that. Okay, so what's going on with COVID-19? We don't really know, and it's hard to predict, but folks, prepare yourself for another shutdown because it might happen. And remember to keep doing what you've been doing. Stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands often, don't touch your face, wear a mask, and keep distance. Keep doing that until we know that we're safe. And I know that eventually we're going to come out of this. But for now, you need to pay attention to science and do what's best for you and your loved ones. And that's it for me. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. And I'm glad to be back. And I know we have a lot going on, and we will get there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor Pro Tem. And speaking about COVID, we've had about 412 residents, unfortunately, that have passed away because of COVID, and it is serious. And that's why I really ask our residents that even if you've been vaccinated, to still, make sure, especially if you're out there, with a large group or anything like that, keep distance or, have like the plexiglass or wear a mask. That's very, very important because I have actually seen people that have been vaccinated actually still get the Delta variant, and it hasn't been good to them. So make sure that you still are protecting yourself, like Mayor Pro Tem mentioned. The 4th of July, like as it was mentioned before, was spectacular, especially the event, the Fun Fest right after. I want to thank Erica Green, and she's our new Parks Director. So congratulations on that, by the way, for really pulling it off and doing great and keeping all of the employees' morale up. I think that was a really good thing that you did. We had the Moval Movies, also the Moval Rocks event throughout the month. And I've been getting emails, messages from residents really thanking us for having that and having that opportunity for them. As far as the fireworks efforts, I want to thank our staff. Our staff was actually out there. Our police department was out there too. Our code enforcement officers, our code enhancement officers were out there, and they were actually able to cite several folks. Over 100 folks that did receive citations of $1,000. So it's very important that we follow the rules, and we did let residents know about that. So I want to thank the staff for really taking that serious. And I hope that when it comes to like another celebration, like let's say New Year's Eve, it's not as bad. And I think we've noticed a decline in it already. The Salvation Army has a new location on Alessandro, and the Salvation Army, just so you know, is a great partner with our Homeless to Work program. They actually operate the Homeless to Work program, and this is a program that I started a few years ago where we're actually putting some of our homeless to actually beautify the community and beautify the city, and we actually pay them. So it's a great program for those in need. The State of the City is August 19th. So I'm going to be speaking about the state of the city, our accomplishments, the issues that we went through because of COVID, and how we have persevered as a city, and we continue to move forward. With that, I just want to thank everyone. Please stay safe. Make sure you wear your mask. Social distance is very important. And again, thank you and have a great night. The meeting's adjourned.